Hey players, it's time to grab your tea and have a seat. Let's discuss politics, crime, celebrity gossip, investigative reporting. Welcome to The Real Tea with Double D on GSMC Podcasting Network, where I am black and the news is always petty as hell, but it's accurate.
Hey players, welcome to a brand new episode of The Real Tea with Double D. Of course, I am Double D and we are on the GSMC Podcasting Network. So excited to be with you all tonight to record a brand new episode. Players, I'm sorry I'm late, but honey, it was some conflama going on Tickety Talk that I had to go and, take a gander at. Had to just take a little look-see. And that's why I'm a little bit late. But that's okay. Better late than never, honey. I'm so excited to have everybody in here. Y'all come on in here, baby. Grab your teacups because it's piping hot. Y'all see I got a new teacup, huh? Y'all can't see that out there in podcasting world, but it says, always teach love. And it's got little hearts on it to represent all the colors of people, and then it's got our LGBTQIA plus community heart on it. Isn't that adorable? I love this cup. And this tea is piping hot, honey. Players, how are y'all doing out there? How are y'all doing out there in YouTube, podcasting, and Facebook world? I hope you guys are doing great. I am feeling footloose and fancy free, honey. Glad to be here tonight. As y'all know, I had to postpone last night's recording because your girl had some things she had to do. So, only thing I had to do was take my ass to bed. I was tired as hell. All right, players. So I'm just going to remind you out in YouTube and Facebook land, if you are here, I'm sorry that I cannot converse with you all, but I am recording this for my podcast. And I see you all. I'm glad you all are here and y'all talk amongst yourselves, but I won't be able to respond to you as much as I normally would because I am recording this for the podcast and they can't see you, honey. So it's not fair to them that I be hollering at y'all and talking to y'all when they can't talk to me. You see what I'm saying? I got to keep it fair. All right, players. So we're going to jump right into it. As we know, sponsorships are back. So we will start off with our sponsor. Again, special sponsor. We have God Ain't Petty, But I Am Apparel. She sells the petty tees, as well as she's added some other things to her line, like she has mugs and tote bags and all kinds of little things. So y'all might want to check that out at godaintpettybutiam.com. And she has $20 Thursdays where you can get a shirt for $20, whatever shirt they have for on special that week, like whatever shirt they pick. I think it's absolutely awesome. I love the shirts. I've had some of her shirts for at least 6 months. I've washed them numerous times and they have not shrunk. And I love me a good t-shirt, honey. Y'all know how I feel. Now tonight, I didn't wear my petty shirt. Normally when I promote her, I'll wear my petty shirt, but I didn't wear it tonight. I wore a proud auntie of my little niece who graduated from high school. Congratulations, Kira. I love you so much. She graduated from high school yesterday, and she will be attending college to become an RN. So I am proud of my baby, and I'm wearing her shirt because I want to rep her tonight. So let's go ahead and take a look at God Ain't Petty, But I Am Apparel, honey. Let's take a look at what they got for us. Now, come on now.
People say,
I declare, honey, what a disgrace. That's the wrong one. Y'all know me. Y'all know why we fucking up. There you go.
Hey y'all, it's Jen, owner of God Ain't Petty, But I Am, and I'm on my way to pick up orders. So here's me going to my shop. Thanks to all of the orders I've been getting, I've been able to move production from my house into a space that is near my house. And so this is where my team comes in to work. They fulfill all of the orders here. And speaking of orders, here were some of the orders that were completed over the weekend. And so I put the orders in my vehicle and head on off to the post office. And here are some of my fabulous customers. We call our community the Petty Pew, and they're just fabulous. So if you want to rock with us, if you want to join the Petty Pew, you can check us out at godaintpetty.com. And we drop a new $13 t-shirt every Thursday. So check us out.
All right, players. Thank you to our sponsor, God Ain't Petty, But I Am. Make sure y'all scurry on over if y'all looking for a nice, comfy t-shirt or a stylish t-shirt, honey. Y'all know y'all can dress some t-shirts up. I know I do. I love wearing them, baby. They my favorite thing. So y'all make sure y'all go and check out God Ain't Petty, But I Am. So excited to have her as a sponsor once again. Thank you so much, Jen, for sponsoring this very special episode. So let's go ahead and get into the tea, honey. Make sure y'all grab y'all tea cups, baby, because y'all know what? This first tea, it's not piping hot. We got to start off with the Buffalo tragedy, but we're going to play the tea report anyway. All right, so over in Buffalo on Saturday, May 14th, there was a tragedy. Everyone here should know about it because I've been talking about it on my page. It's actually, I believe, national news. What happened in Buffalo was completely horrendous. It was a racist and horrible act that was done by a horrible, horrible maniac animal. Any words that you can think of to describe this person, I believe that's what he is. Anything but mentally ill. That's what I'm going to say. I hate when we have situations like this that occur and people want to immediately go to mentally ill because, we cannot blame our mental illness for things that we do. That is just something I believe. That's actually something that my friend Sakithia taught me. Just because you have a mental illness does not mean you get to blame it for everything. You are supposed to be handling that. In this country, we don't do enough for our mentally ill. However, I don't believe that's what this person was. Even if that's an excuse that they want to use, I don't believe that Peyton Gidron was mentally ill. I believe he's just a deranged, racist prick. And I believe he deserves everything that's coming to him. And I'm pretty sure he's not having a good time in Rikers Island. He went into Tops, and I'm going to start this off here by telling you all that they are comparing this massacre to an incident that happened on March 15th of 2019, where mass shooter Brenton Tarrant actually live streamed the killing of 51 Muslim worshipers at mosque in Christchurch, New Zealand. And he also published the same type of manifesto. So they are comparing this to that. They believe this is a copycat. Now, I did read the manifesto. I didn't see anything in there, but there's also another some more writings that Peyton had at his home. So I don't know if he maybe referenced that there, or they're just saying that it's a copycat killing because of the fact that it was live streamed similar to what Brenton did in New Zealand. Either way is disgusting. So at 2:30 on Saturday at Tops Market, he actually rolled up to the Tops Market and proceeded to shoot people. He shot a total of 13 people and killed 10 and was able to actually make it out alive. Many people are saying that if he was a different color, he may not have made it out alive. I'm going to concur with that, there's absolutely no way he wouldn't have been popped if he was black. I think it's completely troubling that this man can have tactical gear on and have all kind of weapons, and you see evidence of these people being shot outside. And then if it had been that they had afforded those same opportunities to people of color where they are innocent until proven guilty, then I would be okay with this. But since they have proven time and time again, law enforcement, that black people are afforded the innocent until proven guilty, they're actually guilty until proven innocent. that is the part of it that gives me pause. So according to reports, you guys, I have a little bit of more information. They are saying that Peyton had been planning this since January of 2022. Okay, so they're saying that Peyton had been planning this since then, and what they mean by planning is he started purchasing the weapons, the gear, all of this since January of 2022. That's when he started planning all of this that he was doing. So here are the victims and their names: Roberta Jury, 32 of Buffalo; Marcus Morrison of Buffalo, 52; and Andre McNeil, 53 of Auburn; Aaron Salter, 55 of Lockport, New York; Geraldine Talley, who is 62 of Buffalo; Celestine Cheney, 65 of Buffalo; Hayward Patterson, 67 of Buffalo; Catherine Massey, 72 of Buffalo; Pearl Young, 77 of Buffalo; and last but not least, Ruth Whitfield, 86 of Buffalo, are the victims. May their souls rest in peace. This situation has really sent the world in a tailspin. Black people are, we're sick. We're sick of seeing these types of things. We are sick of going through this type of thing. And I'm going to tell you something. The hardest thing for me to watch, although I did watch the video where he live streamed a portion of it, Twitch actually stopped it about a minute after it started. But I will tell you, the hardest thing for me to watch, although watching the actual shooting was traumatizing, was the reaction of the Black people around outside after this happened, watching this boy being gently put into this vehicle. You know, it's just like trauma all over again. And then we go through the media and we're having to see, you know, them call him a boy, or, you know, start with the mentally ill stuff. I mean, it's just completely ridiculous. That was the part that was hard for me to look at, was seeing the girl, she was laying on the ground. It was horrible, horrible to watch. So we're going to go back here. So they're saying that that early 2020, at the height of the COVID-19 shutdown, Peyton said boredom, this is what he told law enforcement officials, drove him to check out discussions devoted to guns on 4chan, the online site where users, typically young men, anonymously share and comment on images with minimal restraint. According to Gidron's 180-page manifesto, which law enforcement officials have told the Buffalo News they are convinced is authentic, the 18-year-old drifted over to another forum on 4chan devoted to politics, where he was introduced to racist and anti-Semitic ideology and steered to other internet sites where hate runs rampant. So in June of 2021, Peyton Gidron actually made a threat at a high school. He was brought to the state police for a mental health evaluation and released. Buffalo Police Commissioner said it was a general threat that was not targeted at a specific person or a place, but it was not racial in nature. That's what they said that the threat was. And they said that Gidron was responding to a question for a class project about his post-graduation plans, said his involved a murder-suicide. That was the threat. So several days before the shooting, Peyton Gidron posted the manifesto online, but he timed it. So he posted this on Thursday, the manifesto, but he timed the manifesto to go public moments before the shooting actually began. He actually talked about going to the Black neighborhood and said that he went there because he wanted to kill as many N-words as possible. And I read this, my own, that comes from me. So on Friday, he went to Tops and he did what he did. It happened around 2:30. And then they took him away peacefully. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So Saturday, he was arraigned on first-degree murder charges. And when he was speaking to the police, he talked a lot about white replacement theory. He talked a lot about Black people and illegal immigrants replacing white Americans. That he wanted to protect the white race as a whole. That is basically what he talked about. So he was arraigned on Saturday, and then he had another court hearing today. I will let you all know also that his cousin, her name, I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, y'all. I should have wrote that down. But his cousin actually spoke out, and she wanted to blame COVID-19 for him doing this. The COVID-19 pandemic actually drove him because he was very paranoid. In fact, she said that he had COVID a couple of weeks before this, and he showed up at a family event with a full like mask on, like one of those, one of the full ones. I don't know what it's called, but respirators, but it was the full face thing. He showed up in one of those. He was very paranoid about getting COVID. So his cousin actually used COVID-19 as a defense for what he did. So his parents have been questioned. They served warrants at the house. They did find, when they served warrants at the house, that they didn't say exactly what it was, but it was materials to indicate that Peyton was planning on doing something like this. And then I'm going to backpedal and pussy pop and say, what the hell? Where did he get the money for all of this? He was only 18 years old. I would love to see where the money came from. Follow the money. Did he have a job? Nobody has said anything about he worked anywhere to where he could get this much money to have this many weapons. And also on the weapon, the AR-15 that he used to kill 10 people, he had the names of the Waukesha victims that occurred earlier this year. So there was another thing that came out, that the 911 operator actually called the 911 the manager of the TOPS assistant manager actually called 911 during this, and she was hung up on. And I want you all to hear what she had to say.
What you saw this afternoon?
I didn't really see much at all. I just heard the gunshots and just dropped down to the ground and just waited for him to stop. And he just wouldn't stop. So I tried to call 911, and I was whispering because I could hear him close by. And when I whispered on the phone to 911, the dispatcher would start yelling at me saying, "Why are you whispering? You don't have to whisper." And I'm trying to tell her, like, "Ma'am, he's in the store. He's shooting as an active shooter. I'm scared for my life." And she said something crazy to me, and then she hung up in my face. And I had to call my boyfriend and tell him to call 911.
Well, that is certainly unfortunate, Letitia.
So in New York, 911 calls are not made public. You actually have to get a court order in order to get a 911 call. So unfortunately, we haven't been able to get the 911 call to see. However, it must be true because the dispatcher, who has not been publicly identified, was placed on administrative leave on Monday after an internal investigation, and that person faces disciplinary hearing on May 30th, at which termination will be sought. That's what a spokesperson said for Erie County. They said that Letitia Rogers, that's the name of the assistant manager that you heard speaking, that they launched the investigation after she started speaking out, saying that she was hung up on by the 911 operator. It's very sad. And we see a lot of instances where people call 911 and they're not treated fairly. I don't know if you all remember, I think it was a few years ago, where a lady drowned in a vehicle. The 911 operator was so mean. The lady was asking her to pray with her. The lady had actually driven into a lake. It was not a lake, but it was a flood or something going on. It's like a flash flood. And she drove into this water, and she couldn't get out of her vehicle. She was trying to direct them to wherever she was. It was horrible. That lady ended up dying. And the 911 operator, she didn't end up losing her job because that was actually her last day on the job. Disgusting. absolutely disgusting, and she got to keep her retirement and all that. But her name was made public, honey, and they drug her ass for filth. I don't know if she was ever able to come outside after that, honey, because that was a disgrace. The lady's name that died, I believe her name was Dawn, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong on that. But I'm almost 100% positive her name was Dawn. Okay, so yes, that happened with the 911 operator. They are going to be requesting that she loses her job for that. And in my opinion, if someone's whispering and they're telling you why they're whispering, you don't hang up on them. And I will make this known too, that they did say that the dispatcher's actions had not affected the dispatching of the call. They said that the first call had come in at 2:30 and officers arrived at the store at 2:31. So that's a good thing. However, she should still be punished. So with all of this going on with Buffalo, and of course in this this murderer's manifesto, he talks a lot about the white replacement theory. And if you don't know what the white replacement theory is, it's basically a conspiracy theory that white people, that people like Tucker Carlson and other politicians like Elise Stefanik, I've heard it come from several of them. Matt Gaetz is one of them. A lot of them tout this, and it basically says that they're going to be that illegal immigrants are coming into this country so they can be replaced, so that white people can be replaced, so they cannot be the dominant race. Basically, illegal immigrants are going to replace and dominate the votes and basically run the country. People that are not white. That's basically what that is. Actually, and I'm going to let Tucker Carlson actually explain a little bit more of it to you.
I'm laughing because this is one of about 10 stories that I know you've covered where the government shows preference to people who have shown absolute contempt for our customs, our laws, our system itself, and they're being treated better than American citizens. Now, I know that the left and all the little gatekeepers on Twitter become literally hysterical if you use the term replacement, if you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world. But they become hysterical because that's what's happening, actually. Let's just say it, that's true. If this was happening in your house, if you were in 6th grade, for example, and without telling you, your parents adopted a bunch of new siblings and gave them brand new bikes and let them stay up later and help them with their homework and gave them twice the allowance that they gave you, you would say to your siblings, I think we're being replaced by kids that our parents love more. And it would be kind of hard to argue against you because look at the evidence. So this matters on a bunch of different levels, but on the most basic level, it's a voting rights question. In a democracy, one person equals one vote. If you change the population, you dilute the political power of the people who live there. So every time they import a new voter, I become disenfranchised as a current voter. So I don't understand why we don't understand this. Everyone wants to make a racial issue out of it. Ooh, the white replacement theory. No. This is a voting rights question. I have less political power because they're importing a brand new electorate. Why should I sit back and take that? The power that I have as an American guaranteed at birth is one man, one vote, and they're diluting it. No, they're not allowed to do that. Why are we putting up with this?
I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So that is Tucker Carlson. One of the many times he talked about white replacement theory. There was actually an ethics complaint filed against Tucker Carlson as well as Fox News whenever he first started doing this, but he continued to do it until this very last time. And now he wants to pretend like, he wants to backpedal and pussy pop out of it. All of them that were sitting up here talking about this, like I told you, politicians have talked about this, and I'm going to show you a little bit of evidence here with Matt Gaetz. God, I can't see it, but this was a while back. I can't see what date it is. I'm sorry, you guys. I actually didn't screenshot it, but he said, Matt Gaetz posted, this is a privileged pervert. Ed Tucker Carlson is correct about replacement theory as he explains what's happening in America. The ADL is a racist organization. So I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So the proof is in the pudding. We also saw Elise Stefanik talk about the white replacement theory. She actually bought Facebook ads and promoted the white replacement theory. But this is Tucker Carlson actually trying to backpedal and pussy pop out of his statements. He's just trying to deflect and say that this manifesto was not about the white replacement theory, when we have seen it time and time again. The same thing happened in El Paso, but I digress. Let's listen to him try to backpedal and pussy pop out of this.
I'm laughing because this is one of... But what he wrote does not add up to a manifesto. It is not a blueprint for a new extremist political movement, much less the potential inspiration for a racist revolution. Anyone who claims that it is lying or hasn't read it. Instead, Gendron's letter is a rambling pastiche of slogans and internet memes, some of which flatly contradict one another. The document is not recognizably left-wing or right-wing. It's not really political at all. The document is crazy. It's the product of a diseased and organized mind. At one point, Gendron suggests that Fox News is part of some global conspiracy against him. He writes like the mental patient he is, disjointed, irrational, paranoid. Now, that's true, not that it makes the atrocities he committed easier to bear. If your daughter was murdered on Saturday in Buffalo, you wouldn't care why the killer did it or who he voted for. But the truth about Peyton Gendron does tell you a lot about the ruthlessness and dishonesty of our political leadership. Within minutes of Saturday's shooting, before all of the bodies of those 10 murdered Americans had even been identified by their loved ones, professional Democrats had begun a coordinated campaign to blame those murders on their political opponents. They did it, they said, immediately. Patron Gendron was the heir to Donald Trump, they told us. Trumpism committed mass murder in Buffalo. And for that reason, it followed logically, we must suspend the First Amendment.
I declare, honey, what a disgrace. It's not about suspending the First Amendment. It's about the fact that you sit on the television, talk to millions and millions of people a night, and you push this baseless ass rhetoric about a white replacement theory when it is not true. You are fear-mongering people into doing things that like this. This is complete fear-mongering what he does, and he did it there. He's trying to backpedal and pussy pop, but he still wants to hold on to the fact. He's not saying that the white replacement theory is not true. You notice that. He's not saying that, but he's just distancing himself from this manifesto being about the white replacement theory. Just because he didn't put white and replacement directly by each other does not mean this isn't what it amounted to. And I'm telling you, I read the 180 pages. That's what it amounted to. And I know it sounds like a lot of reading, but it had a lot of memes and pictures and graphs and all kind of shit in it. Child, it was a hot boo-boo shit mess, honey. I digress. But anyway, Tucker Carlson is a piece of shit. He really needs to be removed from television. I don't know how this man is able to spout this type of rhetoric every night and keep a show. It's completely disgusting. So, actually, today they had, well, it happened last night. They had a girl come on, a Democrat, Crystal Knight, who was a political commentator. She came onto Fox News, and I guess they really thought that she was going to come on there and say something completely different from what she did, honey. But baby, listen up. Look, I need you to grab that tea because you're going to need it. Pay attention, baby. You're going to love it here.
Vision in hate, so I can no longer support them and will vote Republican. Critics suggesting Elon Musk may not be the only one who's grown tired of the radical left. Take a watch. I'll come to you first.
I can't help but wonder how many fellow Americans are in the same boat. I just think there's so many people, Hispanic Americans, African Americans, who say I've traditionally been a Democrat, but I can't put up with this any longer. And that's what Elon Musk has got his finger on.
Crystal, your reaction.
Well, I think it's interesting that Elon Musk thinks that the Democratic Party is the party of hate when the Republican Party produced a failed insurrection on January 6th. This is also the party that, has supported the big lie. We also see that Greg Locke down in Tennessee has been preaching an anti-democratic rhetoric in the name of religion because he doesn't like Democrats. We also have to remember the great replacement theory that has been spewed on this network alone, and the Buffalo shooter referenced that. These are all remnants of the Republican Party. That's the party of hate.
We're going to let them adjudicate that case without us commenting on it. And you can have your opinion about whatever it is. I'm going to go to Charlie for a rebuttal.
Baby, I had to clutch my invisible damn pearls. Did she lie? Did she lie? Y'all seen the look on her face, baby. She was like, what to do? What to do? I don't know what to say. Yeah. Oh, you got to let them adjudicate that case. Oh, yeah. But you can sit and talk about it all day. But when somebody goes against your bullshit, you want to try to tell them, no, we're going to let this play out in court before we say stuff like that. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Baby, she let her have it. And I'm going to say, she fucking deserved it. She fucking deserved it. They all fucking deserved it. And I hope that every person that goes on there as a political commentator, when they go on there, they don't say what they want them to say. Baby, I would have went up there and said that, and they would have never invited me again. I can guarantee you, Crystal Knight will never be on 4 News again. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. You better scurry on over to CNN and commentate, because she done ruined it at Fox. That's a good way to ruin it, though. So, I will tell you this. So again, the parents in question in this case, and like I said, I would really want to know where the money came from. You know, I feel like if we start holding these parents accountable for these teens that don't have money to go out and buy their weapons and stuff like that, I believe that we may see people take things more seriously. You know what I mean? If the parents are being held accountable, like the Crumbleys, you know, Ethan Crumbley, his parents are actually being held on manslaughter charges. They have $1,000 lawyers, but Ethan Crumbley is stuck with the public defender. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. But we see a case here that happened back in 2017. It was 2018, where Travis Reinking, he actually went into a Waffle House and shot the place up, and he killed 4 people. So he was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. Travis. Did I say Jeffrey? But it was Travis Reinking. Jeffrey is the daddy. So they ended up charging the dad in this case, okay? So they charged the dad for illegal delivery of a firearm. And I'm going to let you guys listen to hear this so you can see why they charged him.
Jeffery Reinking's admission that he gave his son back his guns because he thought Travis was moving out of Illinois may prove he violated not only state law but also federal law. Shooting victim Aquila Da Silva's attorney thinks so, and so too does Adam Skaggs, chief counsel of Giffords Law Center.
In his attempt to avoid violating Illinois law, he set up a situation in which he violated federal law.
Jeff Reinking liked Tennessee. He said under oath he'd stay at places like this RV park.
Since April of 2017, he's visited in Tennessee 18 times. That is the reason why he suspected Travis might have come here.
You should fess up to your crime, because that's what it is a crime.
After Jeffrey gave his son back his guns, he said in this deposition he had no idea where Travis went for months, missing. That worried him. He saw his son's mental health struggles play out constantly in text messages from the months prior. Travis texted his father, "You could fit the profile of a psychopath. I'm mentally assaulted day after day. You're actively assaulting me with organized crime." And lastly, speaking about people he believed were haunting him online, "They're forcing their own subjective thoughts on me over the internet." These texts are why Skaggs says Travis's father should have known better.
It was highly irresponsible, it was reckless, it was negligent, it was all of these things to give his son these guns, knowing that his son could be a threat. It's very hard to imagine a reason why law enforcement would not bring charges in this case.
That's what victims' families want. Responsibility from a father put in a terrible situation by his son.
So they actually charged him for illegal delivery of firearms, and he was actually found guilty just a few days ago, and he could serve up to 3 years in prison. I know 3 years is not a lot. I know that's what y'all going to say, and you're saying to yourselves right now. However, it is some accountability in the case because he gave that boy those guns back, and he was definitely not in a mental mindset to have those guns. This guy actually went up to Frumpy. He actually went to Frumpy Dump's, went up to Washington, and he was in an unauthorized area talking about he wanted to talk to Frumpy Dump. So he was taken into custody by the Secret Service and actually questioned in that incident that happened in 2017. Then we go to 2018, and he ends up going inside a Waffle House and shooting it up, and he ended up killing 4 people. So the father was charged, and he was just found guilty a few days ago. So maybe if we see more instances of this, maybe these people will stop giving their children weapons. Stop giving them money to go out and buy tactical gear and stuff like that. I mean, you got to have money to be able to buy weapons. Ethan Crumbley, they gave him that weapon. Just think if they would have never given him that weapon, he wouldn't have had access to a weapon, so he wouldn't have been able to do what he did. Hold these parents accountable when they do stupid ass shit. Hold them accountable. It ain't no way I'm finna give my troubled son a weapon, knowing that he could do something do something that will cost people their lives as well as him his life. You should be getting your child help, not giving them damn weapons. It's disgusting. And that person, Jeffery Reinking, Travis, was definitely trouble. And you should have never given him a weapon. So he was held accountable for that, as he should be. And I think we need to see more of that. And we also need to see some federal hate crimes, laws. I'm going to be honest with you all in this. I'm going to move on to the next subject. Biden will not get reelected if he does not pass by any hate crime laws specifically for Black people. I'm going to say this to you again, okay? Because the anti-lynching bill is not going to cut it. Biden is not going to get reelected if he does not pass any hate crime laws in respect to Black people. He won't. He won't get reelected. So he better wisen up, and he better do something expeditiously, because this right here, this is one too many. Black people are not going to keep on putting up with it. And you promised that on the campaign trail, and you have not delivered it. I know that we have a slim majority, but you better get your people on board. You should not have promised something that you were not able to deliver on, because you promised that and you have not done it. And here's the thing. I've seen people say Asian people got anti-hate laws, and these people just got pushed down. Black people out here getting murdered, and it is true. It is 100% true. He is not going to be able, and Kamala better tell him, you're not going to be able to secure that vote unless you do what you got to do for the Black people. You haven't done the student loans. You haven't done the hate crime laws. It's not going to happen for you, player. You can say whatever you want to say, do what you want to do. You can pass what you want to pass. But if you don't do something about this, baby, it ain't going to happen. So, and let me tell you guys this, and then I promise I'm moving on from this, because this is taking way too long. In fact, I'm going to move on. One more thing. So, Letitia James is launching an investigation into those social media sites that he was using. I'm hoping that they find out who was actually viewing this when it was happening. Did they try to contact the police? Did they come in at least 30 minutes before whenever he made this available? He invited them to come and look. Did they come in and they looked at this and they knew about it and they didn't say anything? I'm hoping that we find all that out. So Peyton Gidron, the murderer, is scheduled for court on June 9th. And y'all know I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to keep y'all updated on it, honey. Now, y'all know what time it is, baby. It's time to move on, because we got some more pipe and tea. And it's 37 minutes into this, and I got to get to something else. All right, get ready for the tea report. Child, Oklahoma, and Kevin Stent. I declare, honey, it's a disgrace. Okay, so Kevin Stent, they have passed another, and you notice I said key word here is another abortion bill. And this is the nation's most restrictive abortion ban. It is completely, and it's completely disgusting. It's a Texas-style anti-abortion bill. And basically, Oklahoma legislatures gave the final approval today, and it was sponsored by a Republican woman, Wendy Stearman. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So it would prohibit all abortions except to save the life of a pregnant woman, or if the pregnancy is a result of rape, incest, or has been, and it has to be reported to law enforcement. So basically what this bill does is it will ban all abortions. It makes abortion, it's called HB 4327. It defines pregnancy, fertilization, and the fusion of human spermatozones with the human ovum. And that bill considers pregnancy to begin at fertilization, not implantation. The bill does not restrict the use of forms of contraceptions that prevent a fertilized eggs from implanting the uterus. However, it does not include the use of prescription administration, procuring, or selling of Plan B pills or any other type of contraceptives or emergency contraceptives. So the moment that he shoot the club up, you will not be able. I declare, I'm sorry, y'all. The moment that he shoot the club up, you will not be able to get an abortion in the state of Oklahoma. I think they have like 4 or 5 abortion bills that they done had come down now. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So Kamala Harris actually met, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris actually met with some abortion providers today. And when that came down, she actually spoke about it. And I want y'all to hear what she had to say.
Just half an hour ago in Oklahoma, the state legislature passed one of the most extreme abortion bans in the country. A ban that would outlaw abortion from the moment of fertilization. Now think about that for a second. From the moment of fertilization. It's outrageous, and it's just the latest in a series of extreme laws around the country.
I declare, honey, it's a disgrace, but I mean, they are really getting ready for this overturning of Roe v. Wade, which I feel like is going to be in mid-June. I believe that's where we're going to get that coming down. So they're basically fortified, and baby, they're getting it ready because there's going to be some objections to this. I believe the first lawsuit has already been filed. I mean, they're already getting the lawsuit ready for when Kevin signs it into law. It's absolutely disgusting, honey. I declare it's a disgrace. But you know who it brings to mind whenever I see this happening? It brings it to mind Jane Elliott and what she had to say.
Exactly, almost exactly what he says. He says there are 3 things we can do to solve this. Number 1, we could pay women to have babies, as they have been doing in Western European nations for years. Then he says, and these are his words, not mine, unfortunately, we would have to pay women of all colors to have babies, so we don't want to do that. He says the second thing we could do is increase the number of legal immigrants that are allowed into this country every year. Then once again he says, unfortunately, the vast majority of those wanting to come to this country today are people of color, so we don't want to do that. The third thing he says, and women had better pay attention to this, 60% of the fetuses that are aborted every year are white. If we could keep that 60% alive, that would solve our birth dearth. Does that sound like racism to you?
Jane ain't never been wrong. Jane ain't never been wrong. And we're seeing that was up 10 years ago when she said that. Look, we're seeing it right now in 4K. Jane was not wrong, honey. She was always right. I declare, honey, what they're doing, it is a disgrace in these Republican-led states. People need to get out and vote. They definitely need to support the people who don't support this. This government mandated pregnancies is what Eric Swalwell called it yesterday. And I'm going to say I concur with him. Need to definitely do something, get out and vote, support. Because at the end of the day, honey, if you're at this point, if you don't have it at the state level, if they overturn their Roe v. Wade, baby, you done. You done. You're not going to be able to find an abortion. Y'all grab your teacups. Get ready for a tea report. Y'all know what time it is, and I know that's what most of y'all came here for. I lost several of y'all because I know what y'all came here for. Y'all just love to hear me talk about this man. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. That damn meathead Maddie. Watch people start flooding in whenever I start talking about his ass. Baby, meathead Maddie done lost the primary. I declare. What a disgrace. Look at him, y'all. That picture is from the night. For the people in podcasting world, he's sitting there with his little hands on his lap, clutched together with a shit-eating, I ain't even gonna say, no, not a shit-eating grin, but a puss on his face because he's pissed because he lost. And he's blaming the Republicans at this point. So before I get to that, I'm just gonna tell you about this. So it looks like Meathead Matty is planning to leave politics altogether because he actually shut down his PAC less than one day after getting booted out of office. He actually shut down the Making a Difference in Service to Our Nation. That's his leadership PAC, and they filed a termination notice with the FEC on Wednesday after the freshman North Carolina Republican lost the re-election. The PAC was not very active. They only raised $21,000. But they spent $9,066 in the 2020 cycle. So with Meathead Matty shutting this down, this is indicating that he's looking to wind down his political career, at least for the moment. You know what? I don't know if you guys know what PACs are, but they hire me sometimes to like do videos and things for them. It's basically politicians' way to raise and spend funds, including paying for travel expenses. They often they provide a potent vehicle for elected officials to boost their own influence and spend money supporting candidates. So with him shutting this down, this is definitely letting us know that he is not going to be in politics, at least for a little while. So we'll see what happens with that. And with this IG thing that he dropped, this IG, you can tell he's not, because he looks like he's about to get ready to start snitching again. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So Meathead Matty ended up with 28,092 votes, 31% of the vote. I'm shocked that he even got that much. The winner, Edwards, he got 29,411 votes. It really shocks me that he got that many votes. So let's get to the Instagram post. So the Instagram post, he says, when the establishment turned their guns on me, when the uniparty, I don't know what that word is. Damn, I should have read this first. Is that coincide? That's what I'm going to say. Coincide to defeat an America First member. Very few people had my back. The list includes the lion's share of figures that came to my defense when it was not politically profitable. These are honorable men and women who are the type of friends anyone yearns to have. At the beginning of a change, the patriot is a rare and hated man. These are those rare and hated men and women. These are other national figures who I believe are patriots, but I am on a mission now to expose those who say and promise one thing, yet legislate and work towards another, self-profiteering and globalist goal. The time of the genteel politics as usual has come to an end. It's time for the rise of the new right. It's time for a Dark Maga to truly take command. We have an enemy to defeat, but we will never be able to defeat them until we defeat the cowardly and weak members of our own party. Their days, and I think he said, are numbered. So he also tweeted a list with this. And these are the wait a minute, y'all, I put the wrong one. So he put a list with this, you all. And in this list, he actually, oh my God, what did that say? It said Republican cocaine orgy participants. I think somebody added that in. So just look. It's still a list, but these are the patriots that he are supporting, y'all. Somebody added that in, and I put it wasn't me. I swear I didn't do it. So he has a list of the people that he believes are patriots. And this is Darren Beadle, Fucker Carlson, Musty Marjorie, Frumpy Dump, the Great Charlie Kirk, Steve Bannon, Wendy Rogers, the Typical Liberal, Joe Guy, Rad Paul, Chairman Michael Watley, Joe Kent, Michael Knox, I think that's what that says, Matt Gaetz, Paul Gosar, Scott Parkinson, and several others, honey. Anyway, but you notice whose name is not on the list. Do y'all notice whose name is not on the list? Whose name I did not call, honey? Baby, he does not have Lauren Bobblehead's name on the list as a true patriot. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. And that may mean something, because the group that went after Meathead Maddie is now going after Lauren Bobblehead. This group now said that they're going to focus on Representative Lauren Boebert, and she's the next takedown. They said in a tweet, I think we're going to go after Lauren Boebert in Colorado in a similar way. David B. Wheeler, a founder of America Muskrat Pack, I think we're going to engage in that race pretty quickly. So there may be a reason why Lauren Bobblehead is not on his list as a patriot. I thought they was cool, but I've never seen them really hanging out with each other, like talking about it, at least not here recently. It's always been Musty Marjorie, the privileged pervert, and Lauren Bobblehead. So now I guess he's against Lauren Bobblehead because he did not have her name on the list. I declare, but honey, what a disgrace. But this group has already launched firebobert.com, and they're seeking tips on information, pictures, videos, and documents on Bobblehead. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So you know what? I hope that the privileged pervert actually tells on a lot of people. That's what I'm hoping. I hate that he considers Frumpy Dump a patriot, considering the fact that he didn't endorse his ass to the day before the election, and he did it on Truth Social. I declare, what a disgrace. Well, players, it's going down. Y'all get ready. One more T report. So this just came down tonight with the January 6th Select Committee. They're actually seeking info from a Georgia Republican about pre-riot tours at the Capitol. Apparently, the Congressional Committee is investigating January 6th, and they're seeking to speak with Loudermilk, Barry Loudermilk. They want to meet with him as soon as possible. They said in a letter, we believe you have information regarding a tour you led through parts of the Capitol complex on January 5th. And they say that they have evidence. They say that the evidence that they have directly contradicts what he says happened. He has unequivocally came out and said that there was no tours performed. In fact, he filed an ethics complaint against another House member, Mikey Sherrill, because Mikey Sherrill was saying that there was tours at the Capitol, where he's saying he said that there wasn't no tours, and he actually filed an ethics complaint against Mikey Sherrill. Well, now the January 6th Select Committee has combed through a lot of this footage from the Capitol, and they're saying that Barry Loudermilk either held the tours or he knows something about it at least. So I declare, honey, it's a disgrace. So that's coming down right now. Again, Loudermilk said in a statement, no Republican member of Congress led any tours through the Capitol, and that can be proven by security footage by the U.S. Capitol Police. But apparently the January 6th committee begs to differ. I hope it's true, honey. I hope, child, if they catch his ass in the lie, the truth ain't in him, I'm going to be clutching my invisible damn pearls and laughing at the same damn time. I declare, honey, it's a disgrace. Well, players, we're winding down to the end. Y'all remember to support God Ain't Petty, I Am, but it is time for y'all favorite time of the night, and I got a doozy. I actually got a repeat offender for y'all for our favorite game. Players, it's time for another riveting episode of Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes. The recipient of the Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes Award is Mike Lindell. Oh, Mike Lindell, another L. And he received this L from a Frumpy Dump appointed judge. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So, you know, Mike Lindell, is actually in court right now with Dominion and Smartmatic, and he's been filing all these motions. He actually accused Dominion and Smartmatic in an actual official filing of being a RICO franchise. Baby, the judge let his ass have it and told him that there is no evidence that Smartmatic and Dominion ever had any type of dealings with each other. And baby, this frumpy dump appointed attorney actually imposed sanctions on Mike Lindell. I declare. Oh, yes, honey. He said that your shit is frivolous and we sick of you coming up in here. So he imposed sanctions on Lindell and his former lawyers as part of the decision throwing out Mike Lindell's defamation lawsuits against Dominion and Smartmatic, which were falsely placed at the center of the vast conspiracy theory after the election. So the damages are yet to be determined. They're going to do this after a little bit more arguments or whatever. But so the final amount of the sanctions will be determined after additional briefing. So yeah, honey, and their briefs cannot exceed 10 pages. So the judge is not playing. And again, must I reiterate that this is a frumpy dump appointed attorney? I declare, honey, it's a disgrace. So Mike Lindell, another L. I'll never forget the last L I gave him when he took his ass to Canada trying to help out the truckers with that COVID vaccine. And he couldn't get in. He was hating from my side of the club that wouldn't let him in. He sat up there, had all those pillows and shit that he was going to give to the truckers. And he couldn't do it because he wasn't vaccinated. Oh, players. That was a good one. But yeah, Mike Lindell got sanctions. You know what? He gonna stop selling them pillows for 66% off because he ain't gonna be making enough money to pay all this shit he gonna have to pay. Smartmatic and Dominion go clean his ass the fuck out. Mike Lindell, another L. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Well, players, I really hope y'all enjoy. I can't get it out. Let me get it together. I'm sorry. Wait. Give me 1 second. I couldn't believe it. Let me say one more thing. I promise I'm finished. Wait, I could not believe it when Mike Lindell went out there and he was not vaccinated. And y'all, he had got the truck all souped up. He had it wrapped, with that, and it was all had his face on it. And he was there to save the day and bring the truckers them damn pillows. He could do it. Oh, players. One more thing, real quick. That dude that let me tell y'all about this because I don't want to have to make a video on it. That guy, this was another Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes. So Isaiah Lee, the one that jumped Dave Chappelle, let me tell y'all about that real quick. And then we're gonna get out of here. So y'all know he came up on the stage and jumped Dave Chappelle. Well, honey, his ass has been charged with attempted murder in a separate incident. Yes, honey, it's true. So he done brought all of this attention on himself. So the suspect allegedly rushed and tackled a comedian last month has been charged with attempted murder in a separate incident after a victim identified the man from media coverage surrounding the Chappelle incident. Oh, yes, honey. So he faces 1 count of attempted murder, a felony, for allegedly stabbing his roommate in December. This happened on December 2nd. His roommate, Lee, stabbed his roommate during a fight at transitional housing. The victim reported the incident to the police and recently identified Lee as the perpetrator following news that of the Chappelle attack. So good thing for Dave Chappelle, he didn't really have a weapon on him because obviously he's willing to use it. So yeah. the publicity that they couldn't find him anymore. They didn't know where the hell he was at. So they ended up finding him based on this. So during an arraignment on May 6th, a judge ordered him to stay 100 yards from Dave Chappelle in the Hollywood Bowl. And he's going to go to court on these new charges soon. So I just wanted to let y'all know, I'm actually just going to do a little text about that on my page, just in case y'all don't see it here. However, that was going to be another Play Stupid Games will still win stupid prizes. So you out here, people looking for you, you done attempted to do somebody else, and then you get your ass up there and bring attention onto yourself. Now you going to jail for a long, long time. You ain't just got no assault charges. You got some real charges coming down. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. All right, babies. Well, I'm going to let y'all go. I hope y'all enjoyed this brand new episode of The Real Tea. Transitional housing, like a halfway house, like when you go to jail and they put you in a halfway house to like complete your sentence or something like that. They call it transitional housing in other places. That's what that is. Okay. All right, players. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this brand new episode of The Real Tea with Double D. I really enjoyed it. Had a jam-packed show with a lot to cover, but it looks like we got everything in. Thank you so much for joining me, players. I hope y'all have a precious night, and remember to support God Ain't Petty, But I Am. Thank you, Jen, for sponsoring this episode of The Real Tea with Double D. Y'all have a great night. See y'all later. Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Real Tea with Double D. Remember to support by following on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And subscribe to the website to keep the tea piping hot at blackuritnews.com. That's